Well, hello, Renee. Welcome to this week's edition of Figuring It Out. Ron Schlecht is not available suddenly. I mean, you're here. The one time you're on, he can't bring himself to be here. But we have Renée Sullivan, who's our director of marketing, and we thought a fun topic that's a little bit different, that maybe not appeals to everyone that is in our sphere, but maybe some, is marketing. How do you market and how do you conduct yourselves at a conference? Because we've done that. We're not doing it in 2020 anymore, right? RSA, we kind of got that over with, and then it was COVID, unfortunately, all the way. We had some great plans this year, didn't we, Renee?
We did. Well, thank you for having me here. I like to be Ron's stand-in. He gets to wear a mask. I get a crown. Come on, crown's way better, right?
It's true.
It's true.
And you are the queen.
Yep. Everything went from physical conferences to virtual, right? In the blink of an eye, and just people scrambling to fill that void, right? Those are organic conversations you have at conferences is a great way for people to get to know you and your company. Right, but some of the fun approaches we like to take, right, Matt?
We do things different. We have an edge, and it's part of those that know us that they usually love, and those that know us maybe as competitors that don't love. But I think that's what's fun. Like, I think early on working, and I knew coming to BTB, maybe this is a little bit of an aside, but I knew that we were different just by knowing Ron and Chris prior to joining BTB, and that's what I love. Like, Ron always said, don't take yourself so seriously, right? What we do is serious, but if you can't take yourself so seriously, I think that's a key part of, what you see, it's a circus at RSA and DEF CON and Black Hat. It's a circus. Cool. But I think you had some cool things that we do on a regular basis that are kind of the Renee way, right?
Well,
we
yeah.
all know that how dare you put your cup on Renee's display, you will lose your cup and your hand.
Right. You have been on the receiving end of, Matt, is that your coffee cup on my display, right?
You've been on the receiving end. So it's never me.
That's right. That's exactly right. Coffee cup nonetheless, right? But you know what? That's that mom mode triggered, right? Because, we're here not to perform a service for people. And if they want to have a conversation, right, it's organic conversations, chat, don't attack, right? That's my thing.
We tell our sales team to just be a real human being. Just be a person. Like, talk, engage. And if they're not interested, they're not interested. Look, people, I think there's a good way to put it, chat, not attack, because you see it. Like, people see the lane of vendors and they shudder. I shudder when I go down, and I am usually like a vendor at a conference these days, right? And you're just like, who's going to come up to me and what, stupid buzzword are they going to push on me? And that's just not our approach, right? We try to have fun with it. We try to be real with people.
Yeah.
And if we see our sales team do that in any capacity, we're quick to go, whoa. Like, we're here to make people at ease.
Right. Yeah. Time out. Right. The whole point is, who not everybody goes to these conferences, but there are conferences across the world for every subject matter known to man. Cybersecurity is no different. A lot of really smart people attending this. And so how do you get their attention to say, hey, I think we have a service that can help you. And it's, for us, it's not one, we may take cybersecurity very seriously. We do not take ourselves seriously.
Yeah.
Right.
And so having
fun, right? And I think you have some images of me doing just that.
When we want to talk about not being serious here, I mean, how
hey,
not serious can we get when we're with an Elvis impersonator?
Right.
I mean,
that's so much fun, right?
He loved and I think that's another part of it, right? Like, we do see what he's holding there. That's one of your and Ron's great ideas that were, everyone's got the lanyard and you can sponsor it. But we did a shiny blinky one.
Right. Because everything's like a shiny penny, right? At these conferences, everything's overwhelming. So why not us?
And you know what? When someone's walking the conference floor, they see us, right? So the obvious one is be visible. Sure, but everyone's there to be visible. That's why they have Elvis impersonators here, for crying out loud, right? Like, it's, that's part of it. But, I think the blinky ones we see, and maybe this isn't quite the time to go down the archetypes people we run into, but there are what we call the tchotchke collectors that are there.
Yes,
and they are not, and I have nothing against you if you're a tchotchke collector. But guess what? We spot you from a mile away. We get it. We're cool with it. We understand that's part of the game. And that's why we have blinkies, because then if you're going to walk around with a million tchotchkes, at least be a BTB tchotchke.
Yeah, we try to make sure that you have something worthwhile, and whether it's a little blinky light, or it's a good conversation, or it's a little of both. We hope to fill that void.
I think another key thing here, that if the right one shows up,
Let's see which
I
one
think
you
we
got
can
this
see
time.
it here. So it's have drinks, right? So that might be the first most important thing. This is actually, I think, at RSA this year. Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, it is.
Was.
Yeah, it is. And I think, but I like this picture because it has the shoes, which I think might be, after drinks, the second most important thing. And it's how you always spot BTB at any conference, because Renee will have blinding shoes.
Pretty much.
And if you walk by her and don't notice her shoes, she will grab your elbow and she will have a nice conversation with you.
Yeah, again, this is right where you just don't take yourself too seriously. This is the opening event for RSA. And as you can see, I have 2 cocktails. One's food, I might add, and the other one's a drink. But you know what? It's 5, 10, 20, 100 people notice those shoes, man. You can see them from a mile away. It's a great hook.
And sometimes, admittedly, they notice it, and it's awkward because how they convey that they've noticed that takes a bit of a turn.
Right.
In that case, we move on quickly. It's why Ron is like 6'5" and a very large man. And while I'm not saying I'm huge, I'm 6 foot and I'm not a little guy. So we're usually there right with you.
Yes. Yeah, here's the other thing. You know what? We can have fun. But what are we trying to avoid? We're trying to be the buzzwords. We're trying to be the generic draw. Booth babes, booth men, booth whatever you want to call them. We're not that. We're here to show you what we got, and if you're interested, great. If you're not, that's fine too. We're happy to send you off with a good joke.
I think one of them, and maybe you can speak to the genesis behind it. I gotta find the right one here.
Is this the one you didn't attend?
No, I'm looking for. There we go. Well, so I'll pull this one up, but I think I want you to speak to some of the other ways we have fun, right? So you have your little, right, everyone. So because we have fun with things, you see people at conferences and they have the badge, and then they have like a Rolodex under their badge of speaker, exhibitor, VIP, special unicorn, right? Like they have all these things. So what did we do, Renee? We had some fun phrases that are on ours, right? Because we need to acknowledge, let's all acknowledge what's going on here. This is an interesting disaster that we're all part of when we're at any conference. And everyone is what do we have? Overscanned and underfed?
Well, underfed and overscanned, right? That's our hook, right? Because that's pretty much everybody. You can't go to these conferences without your badge being scanned, and people are just vying for it. But as you can see, we don't take ourselves serious. We don't take the ribbons, which you see at the bottom of the conference badge, very seriously. And I know Right was another one of them, which everyone loved. Underfed and overscanned is another, and that was a great RSA guerrilla marketing campaign as well. So this is about, trying to get people interested. How about this year? We had all of that ancient bling, which is just like 5-10 years ago. We call it ancient, but it wasn't that bad. The phones, the everything, just to say, hey, look at where we came from.
Old networking gear. And look, we're for the connoisseur of conferences, right? So some people just walked right on by us. Look, we're not a 500-pound gorilla in this space, at least not yet. But we have some bright and talented people. We do some really cool stuff. So we're confident in ourselves and in our team. But, we people that walk by us that know what we have there, that saw the old firewalls and saw that, they wanted to have a good conversation with us because they were intrigued. Why the heck, when a technology conference, would you bring all this really old stuff? Well, because the point is, that line, by the way, right, was the technology wasn't the problem. The people were the problem.
Right. Yeah. It's the same thing year after year. How do you be relevant? Well, you be relevant by looking about where we came from. Some of those technologies were fine, but maybe the people and the processes behind them weren't so fine. Right?
So this is proof that I did sneak in some
You did.
cups onto the display here. This is one of
Yep.
the Gartner conferences. But as we wind down, Renee, maybe we recap that we
Okay.
have, chat, don't attack. What else? What other good stuff do we have to leave parting
Be
shots?
relevant.
Be
Yeah,
relevant.
be relevant, right?
Have
And
good
organic
shoes.
conversation. Oh, shoes. Oh, please, come on. You got to bring the bling, right? That's bling 101. And don't take yourselves too seriously.
I think that works.
I do too.
Well, Renee, hopefully our audience had some fun with this one. I did. Thank you for joining us. We miss Ron, but not really. Have a good rest of the day, and we will be talking soon. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.